Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to bringing the Division video. What I have guys today is what I believe to be one of the best PvE builds at the moment. Hands down, right now, this is my favorite PvE build. I've been using this forever, since pretty much like the global event came out, and hands down, I'll say right now, in my eyes and in my hands, I feel like this is the best PvE build you can use at the moment. Now, first of all, this is a 6-piece classified, so unfortunately, if you don't have everything 6-piece, that's classified, you can't really make this build. So that's the only thing that really sucks about this. You did have to grind the global event in order to get this. But if you did grind and if you do have this, trust me, try out this build. So first of all, I'm going to show you guys my abilities first. So what I'm using is obviously a shield. Now, yes, it is a shield build. I do understand not everyone is a fan of them. For some reason, a lot of people say they feel clunky with it. Hands down, I know for consoles, like it feels really weird whenever you don't use shield builds and you just kind of dive into it. On PC, it might be a little bit better because the controls and, the movement is a little bit better. But like I said, if you guys are not a fan of shield builds, if you want to try something a little bit different, make this, and trust me, it will be worth it for PvE. As my other ability, I am using a overdose. Honestly, there's really no point of using this. I get it back in a minute, so the cooldowns are very slow. Something like an immune station could be decent as well, but a heal is a heal, so that's important as well. And then for my ult, I'm using a damage ult. That really doesn't matter, you can use whatever you want. For the talents, I am using critical save, I'm using one is none, precision, and on the move. Now let me explain really quickly. With the shield build, whenever you are playing PvE, 95% of the times you're going for headshots, you're going to be really close to the NPCs, so that's why I decided to go with something that's gonna benefit me and kind of give me extra like powers, I guess you can say, by just hitting headshots and just being in the enemy's face. So that's why I'm using one is none. It gives you a 50% chance of not consuming the bullets. I'm also using precision, which pulses the hostiles for 10 seconds. On the move, hands down, really good for a shield build. And then I'm also using critical save, so whenever I use a medkit, I have that resistance. As for the build, this is what I'm rocking with. Like I said, it is a 6-piece classified defense build. In my opinion, right now, it's really good. I do not think it's going to get nerfed because for PvP, this, in my opinion, kind of sucks. The shield is just not really tanky at all. For PvE, surprisingly, I only have, let's see, I only have 631,000 health on the shield. But surprisingly, as I said, it's very tanky. It doesn't get destroyed at all. I've been running incursions, legendary missions, stuff like that. The NPCs hardly ever take down your shield. Like, obviously, if you're getting shot by like 20 of them at once, your shield will get destroyed. But if you are playing it smart and you're using your, surroundings and stuff like that, you will be fine. Anyways, getting back to the build, so this is what I'm rocking with. First of all, you guys can notice, yes, I am using damage to elite mods. The one thing with them, all of them are actually stamina and damage to elites. The one thing is, if you do have firearms and damage to elite mods, they will be hands down better, because there's really no point of using 7,200 stamina. Yes, you're obviously a little bit more tanky, but you're not really getting anything other than just having a little bit more health. So if you do have firearms and damage to elite mods, I'll recommend using them instead of stamina, because as I said, 7,200 is not really worth it, because how defense works, every 3,000 stamina, I'll show you guys that real quick, your shield actually gets upgraded, and whenever you're at 9,000, you get a 200% increase to your shield. I did not go with 9,000. I do see some people using 9,000 stamina. In my opinion, it's just overkill. You already have the shield protecting you, and for PvE, you don't really have to have a crazy strong shield, and you're already tanky how you are at the moment. So that's why I decided to go with like 6,000 stamina at max, but unfortunately I don't have firearms mods, firearms damage to elite mods, so I can't use that kind of combination. But if you do have them, you're going to be somewhere around like 6,400 stamina and really close to 6,000 firearms. So yeah, anyways, I do want to show you guys my gun first. I am using the house. Once again, you can use something like the MP7, MP5. If you do have the house, hands down use it. It's the best SMG at the moment. But what I have on it is critical hit chance at 23%, 18.5k base damage, and for the talents, I'm using hurried, deadly, and the card counter exotic talent. The one thing with this weapon that's a little bit odd is I'm honestly not really too bummed out about having hurried, because for PvE, like when I'm in an NPC's face, I'm just spraying away and just headshot damage. I actually like reloading really quick, and that's what hurried allows me to do. Obviously something like responsive and deadly might be better in some scenarios, but hurried isn't really that bad. As I said, especially for PvE, it actually comes in kind of clutch. For the mods, I'm mainly stacked into critical hit damage and critical hit chance. You want as much of that on your build. And then for the secondary, I'm just using a sniper. I don't really use this at all. I just, kind of have it. Now, anyways, getting back to the rolls and the gear. So the first thing is, I do not have any skill haste on this build at all. Yes, it kind of sucks. As you guys can see, my heals get back in a minute, almost a minute. So it sucks right there. But I just wanted to focus a lot on enemy armor damage and just damage in general, so that's why I didn't really go into it. But for the chest piece, I am using a stamina roll with enemy armor damage, health, ammo capacity, and I'm also using obviously the stamina and damage to elite mods. For the mask, I rolled enemy armor damage once again with stamina, damage to elites, really important, and the same exact mod. Lastly, for the mod, I am using once again the same purple mod, but this time I'm also using a 4% ballistic shield damage mod. This was actually something for sale a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure if it's being sold anymore, inside the DZ or something. But ballistic shield damage mods, really good to use. It just increases your damage a lot, and whenever you're stacked at least, over 5k firearms or something like that, you will be doing a lot of headshot damage or just damage in general to the NPCs. For the backpack, I'm once again rolled into firearms. This time I do have health instead of critical hit damage, and I'm also using bleed resistance and the same exact mods as I was using previously. For my gloves, I'm stacked into stamina, critical hit damage, SMG damage, and enemy armor damage. Honestly, this might be the best combination in my opinion for PvE gloves for this build, because critical hit chance is good as well, but you really don't want to replace enemy armor damage or anything else. So as I said, if you're making this build, try getting the same gloves I do have. Lastly, for the holster, I am spec'd into critical hit chance. In my mind, this is something you guys can kind of play around with. If you find this build is squishy and it's not tanky as much as you would like, going into health might help you out. But in my mind, critical hit chance is the best thing to use, at least right now. The final thing I do want to show you guys are my character stats. So really quickly, I'm sitting at 18.5k base damage, 36% critical hit chance, 123% critical hit damage, 61% headshot damage. Next up, I'm sitting at 357 max health. Now this will be a little bit lower once I can get some firearms and damage to elite mods, because I do want to stay around 6500 stamina, and then the rest go into firearms. And then lastly, as you guys can see, I do have 0 skill haste, which is kind of unfortunate. But I'm also sitting at 21.50% enemy armor damage and 43% damage to elites. Now the one thing with this build is obviously it is not optimized. It could be way better. The damage, the survivability and stuff like that could be better. But the thing with that is I do have to grind for more division tech. As of right now, I don't really have a lot. So anyways, that is it for the video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section below. I respond to my comments. But once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Trap house.